Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 35-year-old Minnesota resident Paul Orta Jr. was on a school bus. He was with 3 other people, and the bus was stopped by the police on January 5th of 2021. So the day before the Capitol attack, he's on this bus, 3 other people, they get stopped. This bus is privately owned, and it was covered in Trump 2020 slogans and images. And the police had apparently received a call from a concerned citizen. So the officers get them off the bus, they pat everybody down. Orta and his friends all got patted down, but they didn't find anything. So the police released them, allowed them to continue on. Later that same day, this bus reaches DC, and the Metropolitan Police Department stops the bus a second time. Well, this time, they had picked up more people apparently along the way. So Orta was now one of 7 people on board the bus at this point, and the police searched the bus this time. So it didn't go well for them. The police found numerous weapons. They found a 9mm pistol, 4 loaded 9mm magazines, a .22 caliber rifle, 275 rounds of .22 caliber ammunition, and a 110 round .22 caliber drum magazine. So the owner of the bus ended up in custody. He got charged with multiple weapons violations, and then the driver of the bus was arrested for not having a permit to operate a motor vehicle in DC. Don't understand what that's all about, but anyway, Orta continued on to the Capitol. He was not taken into custody at that time. He was seen wearing tactical gear. He had on a tactical carrier vest, tactical gloves. He was carrying a handheld radio. So Orta and others were seen on video. They were yelling at the police. They followed officers down a side street. This was even before they got to the Capitol. And he was seen on video at Peace Circle. He was with that huge crowd that first breached the Capitol grounds. This was the very first breach of the Capitol. So after officers were overrun at Peace Circle, Orta was seen, he was heading towards the Capitol building, and he was seen on video throwing metal barricades on the ground, and then he was motioning for other people to follow him. As he approached the next police line that formed, Orta yelled at them, quote, "We're taking that shit today." He was then seen throwing 2 more metal barricades over a low retaining wall, and then he moved on with the mob to the West Plaza. He headed toward another line of officers, and he somehow along the way came into possession of a police body cam. As he neared the police line, he was seen throwing that toward the officers. And then he maneuvered to the front of the police line, and he was seen pushing against a barricade as the police were trying to hold it in place. So he's pushing it into the officers, essentially. About a minute after that, Orta was seen pushing against another member of the mob, and that person was pushing against the barricades. A short time after that, the mob succeeded. They broke through the police line. Orta then climbed on top of a Capitol banister. He raised his fist in the air. He was celebrating. And then sometime after that, he left the Capitol. Well, on January 25th of 2021, he went to an FBI office. He went himself, and he said that he, quote, wanted to do the right thing. Evidently, he had seen his photos on the FBI's website, and so he wanted to turn himself in. So the agency spoke with took some notes, but at that point, they didn't have any details. So they couldn't do like an in-depth interview and really ask him about specifics about his actions that day. In their notes, though, they said that Orta expressed that he felt guilty. He had shame about his actions on January 6th. However, he claimed that he went past the quote-unquote first barrier, but he claimed that he didn't breach the quote-unquote second barrier, which complete bull. He also said he couldn't remember if he yelled anything, couldn't remember if he threw anything or assaulted anyone. He did admit, though, to deleting his photos and his videos from that day. So they let him go that day. He wasn't officially arrested until November 14th of 2023, and then he was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a restricted building or on restricted grounds, and civil disorder. In May of 2024, Orta pleaded guilty to the one felony charge of civil disorder. So he faced up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested a sentence of 1 year in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. And he has a bit of a criminal history, but it's pretty dated. In 2008, Orta was convicted of making numerous harassing phone calls, and then the government says he's been convicted for a bunch of different traffic violations, driving without a license, failure to obtain a license, proof of insurance, expiration of registration, so things like that. U.S. District Judge Dabney Friedrich presided over Orta's case, and when all was said and done, she sentenced him to only 6 months in prison, 1 year of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. I know it doesn't seem like a good sentence, but considering who this judge is, this is better than I expected. You guys may have heard me say in the past, Friedrich is a Trump appointee. She is notoriously weak in these sentencing decisions. I have seen her get stronger over time. I think she finally caught on that these people weren't just peaceful tourists, as some of the Trump humpers in Congress claimed. So yeah, better than it would have been if she had sentenced this guy, 2 years ago from all the cases that I've seen her handle. So anyway, if I hear more, I will let you know. I mean, the good thing is he has a felony on his record. We'll see how Trump handles things like this. I know there are people out there compiling lists for him of the various January 6th defendants. I don't know why specifically. I don't know if they're looking for him to just pardon some, and maybe the others who assaulted officers, he's not going to. Personally, I don't buy it. I mean, like I've said before, I will believe it when I see it. Because as we all know, Donald Trump has never kept his word in his entire life. So we'll see how it goes down. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.